Hello, my name is Jeffrey Kirk. I've been working online since 1993 and began helping other businesses like yours in 1995. Back then, it was good enough to have a website, any website, because very few businesses did. These days, it's not so simple. Having a website is not good enough. People don't show up just because it's there. But you don't have to take my word for it. Consider your own situation. You have a website, right? And it's not showing up very often in the search results. That's why you're here. So you have a website that was designed, or at least intended, to serve your business in some way. But where is it? When you search, or more importantly, when your prospects search for a key phrase, it can't be found. It's getting lost in the millions of search results. Basically, you have an invisible website. The reason for this problem is that Google indexes your website content and also uses certain metrics to test the quality of your website. This algorithm quickly analyzes the data, compares with the searcher's request, and then determines your ranking. And if your site doesn't score high enough, it's not likely to show up on the first page of the search results. And almost no one goes to the second page. According to Google, a key consideration as to how well your website shows up in the search results is user experience. A key factor in this is how your website functions on the internet relative to other sites, especially relative to other related sites. So what are the ways to improve your page and start generating traffic? Here are 4 quick ways. Step number 1, take a look at your site from the perspective of the search engines. In other words, turn off all graphics, all photos, all JavaScript, all CSS. In other words, just look at the plain text of your site. How you do this depends on your browser and other factors, and there are many different options. So I'm not going to go into detail and take time to describe all of that here. Besides, if you're not a website developer, you might not even know what I'm talking about when I say JavaScript and CSS. And how do you see your site without any of the graphics, images, or photos? So that's all okay. I have a very simple process you can follow on a desktop computer. Simply click and drag your mouse across the entire page, choose copy, and then paste into Notepad. Done. You'll see only the text. So how does it look now? If you can't figure out what your site is about looking at it this way, then neither can search engines. Let me show you real quick what I mean. Okay, here I am at Chocolate University Online. So here's the process. You click and drag your mouse across the entire page. Generally, you need to go from either the upper left corner to the lower right, or the lower right to the upper left. I find I usually have better results starting at the bottom and dragging to the top. So I'm clicking, and now I'm dragging, and try to get as much highlighted as possible. Hit Control-C to copy, grab my notepad, and I hit paste. Now the question is, can you tell what this page is about when you only have text? So I can see the main text on the pages here and here, and then each of the 3 areas down below are showing up here. So it's all good. I can tell what this is. There's extra, like the menu is here. There's some hidden text called alt text showing up here. Same thing here, this duplicate Meet Your Instructor for Chocolate Professionals. These are alt text. But search engines use all that. So by looking at just the text, it's a good way to see what the search engines see when they take a look at your page. If you can tell what this page is about by looking at just the text, so can search engines. Step number 2, review your competitors' sites. When you do a search, which sites come up? What words show up in the search results for the title and the description? Click on the links and take a look to see if you can tell what they are doing better than you are. Things to look for include the text on the page. How much of it do they have? What words are they using to describe what you just searched for? And then try the copy and paste test from step number 1 on their site and see if their site is easier to understand than yours is. Keep in mind that another content factor is volume. How much content do they have relative to your site? Do they have more text on their pages than you do? Do they have many more pages? Maybe a blog. If you have a 10-page website and they have a 100-page website, they have a huge advantage. Step number 3, modify your own site based on what you learned in the first 2 steps. If your site was hard to understand as text, make some changes to clean it up a little bit. Use the example of your competitor's site if they have already figured out some of these things. But keep in mind that perfectly optimized sites can still be invisible. In the past, on-site optimization might have been enough, but not anymore. If you have any serious competition, your site has to be optimized, and it has to have a good number of incoming links from the outside. And the site has to be growing in size, and it has to demonstrate some elements of authority and popularity. All of these are going to help your site get ranked higher when someone does a search. Of course, if your site is missing any of these things, it doesn't stand much of a chance. And step number 4, remember that many people do searches using their phones. That means your site has to look good on a small screen. Google favors sites that are mobile friendly, which means your website must be responsive. What does a responsive site look like? In general, this means your website has to be able to resize itself to look good on any device. It has to adjust to the different screen sizes and formats. And it has to have touch-friendly buttons as page elements, as well as faster download speeds. In order to avoid having an invisible website, you must make sure your website provides the kind of user experience that satisfies Google and its users. By doing this and applying these tips into your website, you help ensure that Google sees your business and includes it in the search results. And here's a bonus for you. Don't stop at the search engines. Get your site in front of prospects wherever they are. While search engines are good, that's not the only way to reach your prospects. For example, do you have a Facebook business page? Are you on LinkedIn? How about other social media? Which social platforms do your customers or clients use regularly? That's where you want your business to be seen. By going beyond the search engines, you create more ways to be found. Now that you're in the game, want to take the lead? Want to snatch the top position away from your competitors? If so, join me on an upcoming webinar. I will show you exactly how to do this. Look for the link below and please join me soon. Your business deserves to be seen online and I will help you get there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.